You are working on stuff for months without any pay, without any recognition, and you're not even being treated right. Guys, I made this, okay? I made this 6 months for free, okay? Probably about 4 years ago is when I really started jumping into filmmaking and content creation. And one thing that I really focus on now is special effects makeup. And in my first 2 years of doing this, I made $0. I made nothing. And it's not because I didn't charge. It's because when somebody offered to pay me, I said, no, it's okay. I'm doing this because, I'm trying to show you that I'm good. That was the stupidest thing I could have ever said. I should have taken the money, used it to grow and to show that I have worth, that what I do has worth. And I've done a lot of stuff for free. Friends told me, but the 1% told me that made it hit the most was my girlfriend. And she kind of sent me out. She's like, you are working on stuff for months without any pay, without any recognition, and you're not even being treated right. And I'm not trying to call anybody out here. I'm not trying to make anybody else feel bad, whoever watches this podcast. But I do a lot for a lot of production companies and for a lot of people for nothing. And that's kind of over. I need to make some type of, income. There has to be, benefits to what I do. Not just the fact that I get to do this amazing stuff. You need to make sure that your work is accounted for, you get credited for it, and that you are paid for what you do. I worked 6 months on a Raptor head. All the money came out of my pocket. Were there little helps from people here and there? Yeah. But I did most of it solely out of my paycheck and out of my day. And that's kind of where the realization hit me, is I need to start being paid for what I do. So guys, make sure that you know your worth. Make sure that you know that what you do has value and that you are paid for that value. And I know it's really scary to be like, hey, I need payment for this. But at the end of the day, they would do the exact same thing. So ask for it. If they don't want to pay it, then don't do the job. But make sure that you don't go into this thinking that you are the best and that you have, all of the perfect skills. You need to work for that. I didn't start out and say, hey, I want all this money. It took years for me to get to where I am. Right now, I'm making suits, I'm creating these special effects, I'm being hired on a daily basis. The first thing I say is, there's a contract and there's a price. If we can establish that, we're good. So make sure you get paid and make sure that you actually believe it. So I was about to grab my Raptor head and be like, I should, huh? Let me just show you.
He's gonna show it off.
I'm gonna grab it. You're gonna cut this out. You're gonna cut the part where I open my closet. Yeah. Guys, I made this, okay? I made this 6 months for free. Okay? It's amazing. I made every scale by hand. This thing is my pride and joy. And I did this for free. If I would ever do this again, this is a $300 piece alone. So, yeah, never doing that for free ever again. So, know your worth, guys.
The scary thing is, it can hurt you and it can prevent you from continuing to do this if you don't set your prices and you get paid for doing the thing that you love to do, doing all this stuff that you're working on, because that is fuel for the mission. That gives you money, that gives you an ability to pay your bills, ability to invest in more camera equipment and all this kinds of things. So yeah, it might sound a little harsh, it might feel a little selfish at first, but it's not, because this is what you need to invest in yourself and invest in your dream, and your hard work is worth it. You you deserve to be paid for all your hard work and stuff like that. So yeah, it does take a little experience to, you know, kind of put your foot down and stand up for yourself and set those prices a little bit higher, but you need to know that it's worth it. And if they're not willing to pay you, they're not worth your time.
If you have been following this podcast, if you have been listening to every word and following this journey with us, one of our first podcasts was building on your craft. We mentioned a lot of working towards your dreams, working towards those goals. And you can't ask for a certain amount of pay, like I just mentioned before, unless you have the skills to back it up. So we're not saying to just run out there and give outrageous prices and expect people to pay you. It's a marathon. It's not it's not a sprint. You need to make sure that you work on those skills. You hone in on your creativity or your editing or whatever it is that you do. Make sure that you're better than most. Do the work. Okay? That's where all of the blood, sweat, and tears are going to come from. So that when you have something to show, you have a great portfolio, and you're like, this is my price. They're going to be like, you're worth it. We're signing you right now. That's the only thing you have to do. Okay, you don't have to be confident when walking into the room, but as long as you have a confident portfolio and that you have a confident skill set, you're going to be fine. Okay, like Hannah tells me all the time, you need to do a YouTube channel. You need to do this. You need to do that. It's like, I get nervous. I feel like I don't have the skill set. I've worked towards it. I can edit. I can, obviously film myself talking, but I don't think I'm worth it yet when it comes to that realm of content. So I'm trying to build myself up so that I'm able to do that. It's something that we all go through in different ways. So make sure you work on your skill set before you go out there, run and gun, and try to make all this money. So,
and during a full moon. Because of this, I always think there's something there.
This is exactly the way it has to be. Daniel talked about doing things for free for 2 years. Was that right?
Yeah, 2 years.
Before charging? 2 years. That's probably a long time, but he knew that he needed to build his skill set before he charges. Now, don't let it discourage you if you do not have that skill set yet. We all start somewhere, and we all start exactly where you're at today. It is your job. It should be your mission to every day to improve on your skills, learn something new about filmmaking. This is something that you have to do. And as you learn and as you become more proud of your skill sets and your work, that is at the point when you can start charging more and kinds of stuff. And you talked about letting your work speak for itself. I do this all the time. If you go to my wedding website, the way I market myself is the first thing you see on my wedding website are wedding videos. You don't read anything about the prices, about what I include. No, the first thing my brides encounter are my videos, because I'm letting my work speak for myself, because I'm confident that when those brides see the videos that I've made, they're sold. That's it. They're like, oh my goodness, this girl is really good at her stuff, and I would love to hire her as a wedding videographer because I want the best quality wedding videographer that I can find. And then they see my prices and they're like, wow, these are actually really good deals and stuff like that. So let your work speak for yourself. Build your talent, build your skill set to the point that you're happy with, start charging, and then let your work speak for itself. That is great advice on building any business that revolves around anything related to videography. We talked about YouTube though. You're probably not gonna like this one. I have a different opinion on that one. You have to start messy. That one, your first YouTube video is not gonna be your best. You're not charging. It's a little different because it's not like you're going out and getting a job and charging. You're just starting to make a YouTube video, and let's be honest, you can delete it or make it unlisted later. So if you don't like it, there's a lot of content creators out there who really struggle with pressing record to start with, and I 100% respect Daniel's just mentality of being the best he can be before he starts pressing record, but I'm afraid that he just needs to press record because he already is so talented and very talented to a lot of YouTube creators out there, and I keep putting pressure on him. And if you're out there struggling with the same thing, It doesn't have to be perfect. I want you to go on Future FilmMakers YouTube channel and just watch some of my first videos and just enjoy how bad they are. And let that inspire you to start pressing record. And I want you to go out and make a video, and this be your one mission. Make it better than one of Future FilmMakers' first videos. Mic drop.
Easy.
Easy. Throwing some shade there,
But,
Daniel Potter.
Yeah.
I know it's not easy to press record, but if I had never started my YouTube channel 2 years ago, I never would have met some of the most incredible people I've ever met in my entire life. I would have never met Daniel Potter. I would have never made all these amazing films. So whatever is stopping you today from pressing record and starting to pursue your dream, whatever it is, don't let it. Go out there and make your dreams happen, because it's our turn to make it happen.